Attention passengers, your exits are located here and here. But that doesn't really matter because we're all gonna die! Hey, welcome to Planet Mark, and today we're counting down the 10 most terrifying facts about flying. So we will be taking a look at things that the airlines do not tell you and some straight out lies. From the shocking reason of why they show you those seemingly unnecessary safety videos at the beginning of every flight, to the horrifying statistic of how long you have to survive on an airplane emergency. If you're not afraid of flying, well, you will be after this video. Let's go! Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe to Planet Mark and hit a bell notification to be told of the next great upload, and check out our links in the description box below for super cheap Disney Orlando essentials if you're still wanting to go and fly after this video. Number 10. The air masks. So when the air hostess tells you in the beginning of the flight that in the case of the cabin decompressing, air masks will come down and you're to fit yours before fitting anybody else's. However, the reason for this is because at the correct height, due to a lack of oxygen, potentially even below as 10% of what you normally get down at sea level, you will have on average 15 to 20 seconds till you pass out. Think of what you can do in 15 to 20 seconds and think of what it takes you longer to do in 15 to 20 seconds. That is a scary statistic. That's why if you're trying to put it onto a child, which is like, no, I don't want to do it, those 15 seconds will count down so fast. Every second counts. Fit yours, then you can fit your child. If a child does pass out, just quickly putting on the air mask afterwards, that should wake them back up normally, and thus saving their life. Save yours first. Number 9. Time to escape. So let's take a quick poll. So, on average, how long do you guys think that you have if a fire were to break out on the plane to escape? Quick poll above. On average, what do you think? What? An hour? No. 45 minutes? 30 minutes? 10 minutes? 20 minutes? How about 90 seconds? 90 seconds. I cooked a microwave burger for 90 seconds today. Certainly couldn't have done much in that time. That 90 seconds to realise that there's a big old bad fire on the plane, to get up out your seat, to run to somewhere you can get one of the exits, which the air hostess pointed to before in the previous point, then somehow get past everybody who's trying to get their bags out, just like running in a panic and just generally being scared. That's 90 seconds you have that, and that's without the realisation that you're actually potentially could die within the next minute and a half. So do you still think that the staff showing you where the exits are necessary now? Number 8. Right place, wrong time. I remember as a kid, my mum always used to say to me, so if we're on a plane, at least if we all die, then we all die together. Oh, she was full of such wonderful quotes. However, statistically, that's not true. As we said in the previous point, you have 90 seconds, so if you're closer to an exit, then that's less time that you have to run and get past everyone else. So statistically, your chances go up. I think it's somewhere within the first 5 rows closest to an exit, you are statistically slightly higher of surviving the worst possible outcome. Also, statistic for some reason as well, the back portion of the plane, people that sit at the back of the plane are more likely to survive as well. Not entirely sure why, but then. Number 7, the most dangerous part of a flight. Okay, so you're probably wondering while during takeoff and landing, they tell you to get everything off your laps, not even watching the TV or putting your seat back slightly. They want your full attention. But why do you need this? What do they need you for? Well, that's because statistically, by far, the most dangerous and life-threatening parts of a flight are the first 3 minutes of takeoff and the last 8 minutes of landing. And stop moaning because you missed the ending of I Am Legend. That ending sucked. Number 6. Your plane is broken. You may think that your plane goes through vigorous and really intense safety checks before and after every single flight. However, what is unsettling is that that is not the case. What they have is a minimum requirements list. As in things that are essential for the flight. Everything else is not on that minimum list. So it doesn't matter if it's broken, which is kind of scary to know that they're only looking after a few things on the plane. And if they're fine, they don't check the rest of the plane. That's why sometimes you in fact hear stories about doors just falling off just before takeoff. Actual doors to the plane. And what happened with us is that we were just about to leave for California and the GPS wasn't working. So what they did was turn the engines on and off again. So effectively they were doing the old Windows solution. And guess what? It didn't work! So this left us with an 11-hour delay. Because by the time they decided what they needed to do, it'd already been too long. The air hostess couldn't have made the 9-hour or 10-hour, however long the flight was. Can't even remember how long it was. They had to change planes. It was the longest delay we have ever had, and the most annoying flight we've ever had as well. Despite the fact they gave us shortbread biscuits. However, good point though, we did get some air miles, so gotta love those air miles. And those air miles were used for another trip to the States. If you want to know how we also get some other great money off tips for our trips to Walt Disney World and how we get 50% off every vacation, check the video now. Well, straight afterwards even, because we still got some more terrifying facts. Number 5, planes getting hit by lightning. Now you may think that lightning never strikes twice. Well, in the events of planes, you may be thinking maybe it's once, I don't know, during that film Airplane, if that's what happened, I can't really remember, getting straight, or something weird happening, once in every, 100 years or something really low like that. No! Planes, on average, every single plane, on average, gets shocked by a lightning bolt once a year. However, they're not stupid and they have thought of this, so the airplanes are in fact built to withstand lightning. Let's just hope that lightning cladding is part of the minimum requirements list. Number 4, it's not new. Okay, so this one's not actually going to kill you, but it's still pretty gross and something that you should still know. Okay, so normally in most airlines when they come round, a lot of the long haul flights, they come round with headphones or earpods or something like that. So they're given to you in these packages which make it seem like that they are brand new, the fact they're completely sealed and that these are clean and everything. However, they are recycled from previous flights. The ones that aren't being used, ones that work, they just get a little bit of clean and that is it, and they just get put back into the packet. Which is, again, that's not going to kill you, but still, that's had somebody else's ears in them, somebody else has been touching them, and the airplane is pretty much just one big canister of germs and disease as it is. Which I suppose it kind of makes sense, the fact that every time I use one of those headphones, it only lasts for about 1.5 films. And for headphones, that's not very good. Number 3, don't drink the water. So if you manage to survive a takeoff, a fire, and lightning, you now may want to relax with a nice cup of tea. Oh no, you don't want to be doing that! Because research has shown in as much as 1 in 10 flights have dirty, bacteria-filled water in them due to the tanks not actually being cleaned. Although some levels of bacteria are okay, this kind of bacteria, potentially too much bacteria, could cause E. coli. And E. coli is just another form of food poisoning, which will give you very, very severe vomiting. And nobody wants that on a plane. Number 2, 15 minutes to live. Okay, so back to those air masks. Okay, so it comes down, you finally got it on. How long do you think you've got on those air masks? Okay, well, it's a big plane, so you'd expect, a couple of hours? An hour? 45 minutes at least? No. You will have 15 minutes on those masks. So potentially, if the pilot can't get the plane down to an altitude where you can just take it off to normal levels of oxygen within the 15 minutes, as soon as they come down, you know that's potentially all you have left on your life clock. But in theory, 15 minutes should be more than enough time for the pilot to get you down the altitude. As if they haven't passed out themselves. Number 1, the pilot never tells the truth. Okay, so this one actually makes sense, and I can understand completely where they're coming from, but is the worst offender of them all. Okay, so something happens to the plane, or something is about to happen, then they will either just not tell you, or put the seatbelt sign on, or really downplay everything that's happening. For example, if they need a doctor, all they'll say is, okay, so is there a doctor on board? Really calmly, just to see, like, making you feel like, oh, well, someone's just got a headache or a cough or something, that's fine. In reality, potentially it could be something like a heart attack or something really bad with the plane. If there's like turbulence, they may just tell you that there's a little bit of turbulence and they just put it on, but potentially, you don't know, there could be a really bad air pocket and you could be falling, and there could be a red alert situation going on. But I suppose again this makes sense, because if they are having trouble, the last thing they need is a cabin full of really scared staff and customers. Because when people get scared, we've all seen the movies, when people get angry and scared, they turn to a mob, they turn on each other, and people start getting hurt because they're fighting and just wanting off and really screaming and panicking. That's the last thing the cabin crew need. And it will also use up the oxygen faster, which, let's not get those air masks coming down, because that will make everything a hell of a lot worse. So this is what will happen on a plane. Attention, this is your captain speaking. Could everybody please take their seats, as we're having some unpredicted turbulence at the moment. Nothing to worry about. And this is actually what's going on. Hello, this is your captain speaking. We're all gonna die! Oh! Okay, so you're probably now nice and terrified, never wanting to leave the safety of the ground ever again. However, let me just reassure you with one really nice, calm, good fact about planes, which will hopefully reassure you. Okay, so if a plane were to lose both of its engines, and the TV show Lost make it look like, is that you're just going to come crashing down straight away, everyone dies, big blaze of fire. However, if a plane's jet engines were to fail, they were built to glide, so potentially they could have as far as 131 miles to glide. In theory, that should give you more than enough time to get somewhere where the airplane can land. For example, the pilot which landed the plane on the Hudson River, that was because of 2 jet engine failures, and that was right at liftoff as well, so he didn't have the time, and he was still able to glide the plane onto the Hudson, and they were gliding for 13 miles. And that was both of those. That's a real life example of 2 jet engines failing. That was because of birds though. Kind of think, let's get rid of the birds. But anyway, I want to know which one of these facts did you find most terrifying, or if you've got any more terrifying flying stories or facts of your own, let me know in the comments section below. Before you do that though, make sure you subscribe to Planet Mark and hit a bell notification to be told of the next great upload. And check out our links in the description box below for super great, really cheap Disney Orlando essentials. Like this video, share it around. Follow us on Twitter at PlanetMarkVlog, or Facebook.com/PlanetMarkVlog, or Disney Instagram at Disney.Dreamer_UK. See you in the next one, guys. Bye 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 bye.